We've been running a diversified farm and cidery for the past 15 years. We raise cows and sheep and pigs and chickens and turkeys and grow flowers and strawberries, have an orchard, mostly of apples for eating and for making hard cider. We ferment and bottle hard cider here on site and have a small farm restaurant where people can come visit 7 days a week and eat and drink good things. People can even stay overnight here and just kind of explore the farm and get an understanding of what we've been up to. I started the farm when I was 22, and we've made a ton of mistakes along the way and had our fair share of bumps and bruises. We have learned a lot, mostly about things not to do and ways to survive and make it work as a first generation small diversified farm. Just trying to make some videos to share the story, and hopefully people will gain something from it, maybe about things not to do, and just find some value in it. So I'll try to share the journey about creating a small diversified farm from scratch. Let me show you what we've been up to. We've raised a lot of different livestock here on the farm over the years, but this is our first year raising pigs, and they are super curious. These are little piglets that showed up to the farm maybe a week ago. There are 10 of them here, and there are about 40 more coming for a total of 50 this summer, and they will all be out rotating on pasture and into different parts of our woodlot. They are super lovable and curious. Right now they're inside our high tunnel and they move fast. But they're hanging out in our little high tunnel while we're waiting for the pasture to get ready and the other pigs to show up, and integrate the two groups and train them on our electric fencing, which is always a challenge with pigs. Hey buddy. So far, we're really enjoying pigs. Super curious, friendly animals. And we've got these great homemade pig feeders here that are making chores super easy right now. We'll move these out to pasture with them when we put them out there, hopefully in 2 weeks, like by the 3rd week of April, things should be ready out on grass. It's early April here on the farm, so the trees haven't leafed out yet, and the pasture grass is just starting to perk up, and animals can't go out to pasture for another couple weeks. The first poultry has showed up on the farm this year. We have about 1,000 little Freedom Rangers in our first batch of chickens that are coming to the farm. Turkeys will be coming later in the season, and they're looking super healthy. I'll show you the brooder here. This batch of Freedom Rangers is looking super healthy. They're about a week old and are really vigorous, and they're finding the water and food well. We use these simple wooden hover brooders. Let me see if I can show you underneath. There's heat lamps underneath. They're kind of like giant mother hens that the birds can go in and out of and hang out on the edges of, depending on if they're looking for warmer or cooler zones. Super primitive, but super effective. We know how to make a lot of stuff and grow a lot of stuff and build a lot of stuff on the farm, but don't know how to make videos really. So hopefully I will not totally make you all dizzy and have a ton of wind noise and make these videos unwatchable, but we'll try to learn it as we go. But thanks for bearing with us. So we grow a bunch of apples on the farm. We're walking through, if you can see them behind me here, some of the dwarf apples. We have about 6 or 7 acres of apple trees here on the farm. It's one of our primary enterprises, growing apples for eating and for hard cider. By dwarf, I mean apples that are a little bit smaller, that grow on trellis. They're still pretty tall. Right now, they haven't leafed out yet. They should be leafing out and blooming in maybe 2-3 weeks. And that's when things really start to get interesting, trying to grow organic fruit here in upstate New York, where it's humid and wet in the summer. Everything loves to eat apples, and all sorts of fungi and bacteria love to live on apple trees. So it will be exciting to show you how we try to manage that on the farm this summer. We grow over 40 varieties of apples on the farm, and some peaches and pears. So hopefully I can show you some of those nuances as the season goes on. It is about 70 degrees today, which is a little unseasonably warm. We had a really warm spring already, and the trees are pushing ahead. The buds are swelling, the buds are opening on our crab varieties, and pink blossoms might be showing their face as soon as today. We were pruning all winter, so you can see behind me these piles of prunings that need to get pushed out of the orchard today. A lot of work happens here, and I definitely don't do it all myself. We have a ton of awesome people who help make the whole farm and restaurant and cidery happen. We can go check on what some of those folks are doing right now. Alex is in the tractor right now, pushing the prunings into some piles so we can get them out of the orchard. She did most of the pruning this winter, and now we're just cleaning up the branches and getting ready for the growing season. We're not growing a ton of annual plants on the farm this year, but inside the prop house, we have some tomatoes and flowers growing, which are pretty much all the annuals that we're doing. Soon we'll also be propagating some black locust cuttings in here that will go out into our silvo pasture. But this is what it looks like. Pretty empty right now, but more plants to come soon. We started our farm here from scratch, meaning there were no buildings, no fences, no roads, no water. So the last 15 years has just been a long series of building one thing after another to try to make it all work. There's an awesome book I love that I've never read, but the title is How to Take an Axe and Go into the Woods and Make One Thing After Another Until You Have a House and Everything in It, which is a lot what it feels like with building this farm over the last 15 years. It's been both building a farm and also running a farm at the same time. And yeah, it's been super fun, interesting, infuriating, costly, and has some good lessons to share. So I will try to show you. We're in the middle of building a new project because I can't help myself, and we are building a cool little cabin in the woods for folks to come and stay and visit the farm. I'll show you as that project gets going this summer, but it's going to be a beautiful wooden circular house. The first thing we've done on that project is to build a bridge to get across this creek. We've built a couple bridges in the past, and this one just got built a couple weeks ago. But this is also where the cows are in the woods right now, so we'll head over there and see what the cows are up to. But glad to have this bridge keep my feet dry. I was thinking another reason I want to make these videos is to maybe just reconnect with some of the work that I love doing, and by sharing it with other people, it will help me remember how special it is and how much I enjoy doing some of this stuff. When you live really close to something and do it every day, it's easy to lose sight of the magic. It seems like take things for granted. And there's a lot of beautiful stuff that we do that drew me into farming in the first place. And maybe by sharing it, I can appreciate it a little more and reconnect with it. The cows are out in the woods right now in a little area we call the walnut savanna, an area behind me that is kind of more broadly spaced walnut trees. We've cleared the understory of honeysuckle recently and are trying to get grasses to grow here this summer. We'll be keeping both the cows and pigs in here periodically and pulsing them through the same way we do with livestock out on pasture, but we'll be doing it in the woods. Cows on the farm are a bit of a reboot for us. We used to raise cows maybe a decade ago, and life got too complex and things were getting too diversified, and we had to focus and took a good long break from having cows. But I love doing it, and we've just recently got cows back on the farm this year and are bringing on a few more. So trying to grow the herd into a sustainable enterprise, which will be another fun series of videos to make and talk about what the trajectory is with that and just watch them out on pasture. It'll be calving season soon in May, and should be some new mamas and babies showing up. We used to raise Angus on the farm 7 years ago, probably. It was the last cow that was here. So I'm super excited that they're back. It's something I really enjoyed doing. It's a very small little part of what we're doing right now as far as the business goes, but it will be a growing enterprise hopefully over the coming decades, and will be something that we'll just keep building and building as we can. As we can find more good grazing ground and afford to raise more animals, we'll keep growing this enterprise on the farm. This is a bit of a whirlwind tour, I'm sure, and feels a little disjointed, and it's only a small fraction of what we do here. We do a lot on the restaurant side and barbecue and cider making side that I could show you in another video and introduce you to some of the crew. There's a ton of awesome people that help make all of this stuff work, and not many of them are here today, which is giving me a little bit of time to make this video. I forgot to record an ending to this video, so here I am a few days later. We just had a frost in the orchard last night. The peaches and pears are in full bloom, but it only got down to 27 or 28 degrees. So fingers crossed, hopefully there is still a full fruit crop out there. Time will tell. But if anyone at all is watching these videos and finds anything interesting and wants to see more of something, let me know in a comment and I will try to make more videos about that going forward. In the meantime, we have a website and we have a real physical earth site that looks like this, and you can come visit here 7 days a week and experience it for yourself. So hopefully we'll see you soon.